Hello and welcome to AC1320 Accounting Software Systems and Principles, QuickBooks. Remember that the contact information is down here with the name, the email address, and the phone number. Email address probably being the best way to contact me. We can set up times by the email address as well. It's probably the best way to set up other appointments as well. We have office hours down here, and the office hours are on Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. It has a different call-in number than the other phone number, so be aware of that. Office hours are not required, but there is time carved out for you at that time. It will be in a question and answer format, not in a lecture format. Remember to call in the number first, and then we'll use the screen share software as needed. So if we call in, we have questions, and then if we want to work through the problems together, we'll jump into the screen share software and work some problems in that format at that time. I'm going to scroll down to week 4, the current week that we are in. So let's open up week 4 and see what we have. We're going to have a familiar layout here. We have the objectives, we've got the topics, and then we have the lessons. We're going to be covering chapters 9, 10, and 11. Major topics will be adjusting entries. These are similar to the adjusting entries you had in chapter 3 of your major textbook. And then budgets, we're going to roll into budgets as well, which is something that most people find to be very helpful. A lot of people tend to really like the budgeting chapter. Then we have everything from the discussions down is what we, of course, need to complete as of the end of week 4. Discussions is what we're going to start off with. Remember that we need at least 4 posts to get full credit. Really highly recommend aiming for full credit on the discussion forums because you have the most control over those, and they're really a substantial amount of the grade. 21%, big part of the grade for participation in discussion, so make sure to pick that up. And in order to do that, you need at least 4 posts. You want to post more than 4 posts in order to make sure that you're picking those up. In order to get credit on a post, to get full credit on a post, you want to have added substantial material. You can post to anybody's thread, any post on there, whether it's a post to your particular thread or a question to your thread or not. And if you copy and paste something from Google or something like that, make sure to copy and paste or reference it so you're not plagiarizing. And to get full credit on it, you want to either recap it in your own words or comment on it in your own words, question it and analyze it in some way, which would even be better in my opinion. Then we've got the assignments and the homework. So we're going to be covering those chapters in the assignments and homework. We're basically just going to go chapter 9, chapter 10, chapter 11, and all the links will be in here. So remember that we will be having a new backup file for each new chapter. We'll be working on wild water sports the entire way through, but each new chapter will have a new file that we need to upload. If you do not upload the new file, it will be very frustrating if you're using the prior file, even though it's the same company, because some of the data will not be in there, even if you did the prior chapter perfectly. So make sure to restore the new chapter. It should say Wild Water Sports Chapter 9, and then restore Wild Water Chapter 10, then restore Wild Water Sports Chapter 11. That will make sure you're starting at the same point and working forward from the correct point. Then we have the quiz. Make sure to do the quiz by Sunday. Now, we cannot make up the quiz unless there's an unusual circumstance. If there is an unusual circumstance, let me know and I'll take that on a case-by-case basis. When I do update the quiz on a case-by-case basis, I will adjust the date and then put basically a password in there to allow for late work. So that doesn't mean that everybody has late work after that point in time. That's just the only way that I can allow for special circumstances. So make sure to do the quiz by Sunday, and if it's multiple choice questions, and then if you run into a time constraint, then do as much of the assignments as possible and then go back and pick those up for late work. We have a lot more leeway for late work on the assignments than we do on the quiz. So you want to get everything in. If you run into a time constraint, make sure to do the quiz and then pick up as much homework as you can. And then if you have to do late work, then do the late work. Going to go up to the grades over here on the left-hand side in the grade book. So remember that everything is due by Sunday, and then I will have until the following Tuesday in order to pick up the grades. So for example, week 3, everything is due on Sunday. You want to check the grade books by Tuesday around noon, and everything should be uploaded at that time. You should have a vision of what it should look like. For example, you should have a vision that this dash is going to turn into 100% because you're going to get 100% on that. And by Tuesday at around noon, it should. You want to check it at that time. The quizzes should populate automatically. The midterm will populate by Tuesday. Same with the assignments, same with the homework. After it has been populated and you check it on Tuesday, then you want to see if there's anything that's a 0 or not full credit. See if you can pick up either the late work or anything that I comment on in it to get full credit on it. Then going forward in week 4, You can pick up any of the late work as well in week 3, and you can obviously pick up week 4, everything including late work, and anything in week 4 that is done within the week of week 4 will then be graded by the end of week 4 following the Sunday close on Tuesday at noon again. So you can pick up late work. It is open. Do the late work. It won't be graded automatically. It'll be graded following the week close on Sunday, and I'm going to try to get everything input by Tuesday at noon. So that's going to be it for week 4, so have a great week 4.